What's going on? It's your boy Bowie here, and I'm here with this video to demonstrate why Sub-Zero and Scorpion are still good characters, despite them being the very worst two characters in the game. See, if you look at any tier list, it's pretty much universally agreed that the two brothers, Bi-Han and Kuai Liang, are the very two worst characters in Mortal Kombat 1. And I completely agree with that assessment. I play both of these characters. And they are definitely not as good as some of the other characters in the game. However, some people have conflated that to mean that both of these characters are bad. They're bad characters because they're low tier. Oh no, hell no. Let me make this very clear. Mortal Kombat 1, at this stage, 2 months into the release of the game, even as an unfinished product, is the most balanced NRS title that has ever been released. This month, this close to release. Or this soon after release, I should say. What makes me say that? Well, the reason I say that this game is the most balanced is because the overall power level of the characters is relatively high compared to the power level in past games. What do I mean by that? What I mean is this. In Mortal Kombat 9, the bottom two characters were actually bad characters. They had missing tools tools that didn't function correctly at all. Or they were missing key fundamental elements that would have made them viable. You know what I'm saying? You were not taking Kano online. Well, let me not say that, because the online in MK9 was terrible. You were not playing Kano against offline opponents that were just as good as you and beating characters like Cyrax, Katana, Johnny Cage with no goddamn Kano. If you were beating people with Kano, you were outplaying people with Kano. Massively outplaying, because under no circumstances would a bottom character like Kano be able to consistently get victories over characters like Johnny Cage. Wouldn't happen. No way, no how. And even if he could beat Johnny, he's not beating Cyrax, he's not beating Katana, he's not beating Kung Lao, he's damn sure not beating Cabal. He's not even getting past Sub-Zero. You know. In those games, low tier characters were actually bad, and that's why they were placed in tiers like C tier. Did I say tiers? I'm sorry. This is why low tier characters were placed in tiers in past games such as B tier, C tier, D tier. These characters were actually bad. You know what I'm saying? In this game, the characters are designed well, and I want to demonstrate that with live lab work, you dig? So, why do I say that Sub-Zero, the very worst character in the game, is still good? Well, let's look at his frame data. See, in past Mortal Kombat games, character down ones were all over the place. Some characters had 7 frame down ones, some characters had 6 frame down ones, some had 8 frame, 9 frame down ones. But in Mortal Kombat 1, that's been pretty much standardized. Everyone, with the exception of Johnny Cage, from what I know, has a 7 frame down one. Also, virtually everyone has a 7 frame stand one. This is true of both Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Okay? The significance of that is that both of these characters can easily punish just about anything that is unsafe. aka anything that's -8 or more on block. Sub-Zero can punish, whoops, he can punish with 1-2 into cameo, or he can do 1-2 into ground freeze, right? Scorpion can do 1-2 into spear, or he can also do 1-2 into cameo, right? And just to demonstrate, 7 frame down 1, 7 frame stand 1. And I want you to notice, the down ones have pretty good range. I mean, look at where I'm standing at. I can pretty much stand right here and hit somebody with my down 1 as Scorpion. I don't have to be right next to them. I can be a little bit beyond and hit them. Not so much with the stand 1, but down 1 definitely. And Sub-Zero's down 1's even better than that, because look at that hitbox on that. We still got breathing hitboxes though, so sometimes this won't connect. Yeah, but look how far Sub-Zero is. Oh, it pushes back a little bit, that's why. Look at that, that's crazy. So Sub-Zero can be right there and down 1 somebody, which is important because he can down 1 into clone. Or he can down 1 into cameo if he wants to really be cheeky, you know? So having a fast poke and a fast jab is really good. And they both have fast jab strings. As a matter of fact, every character has a jab string. Typically it's 1-2. You know, virtually every character I play has a 1-2 into something. You know, it might be 1-2-1, it might be 1-2-2, 1-2-4, doesn't matter. It's 1-2 into something, and you can special cancel it. Okay? That's important. That has not always been the case. In Mortal Kombat 9, Sub-Zero had a 20 frame stand 1. 2-0. 1/3 of a second. That's how fast his stand 1 jab was, and it led to nothing. Okay? In this game, it's 7 frames. Alright? So, that's important. Also, in addition to down 1s being good, both Sub-Zero and Scorpion have godlike down 3s. Look at Sub-Zero's down 3. Look at this. Look at how far you can poke somebody from. That's sweep distance right here. So that's sweep distance, poke. Again, this is very good because down 3 clone is quite strong, right? And Scorpion has the same thing. Whoops. His down 3 might be even better than Sub-Zero's. 10 frames of startup. Not very plus on hit. You don't want to spam this. But if you're, say for instance, fighting a Johnny Cage, and you don't want him doing his plus frame pressure and all that good stuff, down 3's your best friend. You don't have to wait for Johnny Cage to get here. You can stop him here. As soon as he approaches, is bitch, no. And back up. You can down 3 back up. You can down 3 into cameo if you want to be cheeky. You know, this is probably the safest thing you can do. Just use your down 3 to keep the character at bay. Now, their down 4s leave a lot to be desired. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look at this down 4. It's horrible. It's a throwback to MK1 for sure. And it has 15 frames of advantage, you know what I'm saying? Let's look at Sub-Zero. Okay, his is not too bad. God damn, it's 9 frames. Son of a bitch. Okay. So Sub-Zero's down 4 is not that bad. Right? But I like the down 3 more. Well, you use them in different instances because this has more frame advantage. So you can try to somewhat jail into the mid a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And this, you use it more up close, and that definitely jams. You know, that kind of thing. Wait, what? Wait a minute, is that a combo for real? What? I didn't know that. That's a damn combo? Huh? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see that. That can't be. Oh, no, I'm about to say. Oh, that's interesting. Why is that a combo? That's so interesting. Just discovered something right there, but you can't combo after that. That's interesting. Wow. See, that's not a combo. That's a combo though. What? So you can combo after it from here, but down 4 into it. Wow. Fascinating stuff. Anyway. So yeah, their down 4s can be hit or miss, but down 3 is phenomenal. Down 1 is phenomenal. So these characters have good pokes. A good poke can be the difference between a mediocre character and a good character. You know what I'm saying? MK9 Melina, hell, MK11 Melina had a set of good pokes. Especially that down 3 and that down 1. But that down 3 was godlike though. You know what I'm saying? Also, these two characters have amazing stand 2s. Ironically, both of them have a 2-1 string, which is used at range. And it's a great whip punishing string, and you can combo into it. You know what I'm saying? Both of these characters are 2-1 gods. Scorpion might have the best stand 2 in the game. Look at this shit. Look at this crazy shit. Look at this bullshit here. Right here. Sweet distance. Down 3. You know, you're right here. You know, you do this at somebody's max range. They try to approach. Bitch, don't you get in my space. You know what I'm saying? And this leads to major damage for Scorpion. Look at that. 38% meterless off of this. You know what I'm saying? And he can get more. I'm just not using meter. You know what I'm saying? So, and Sub-Zero has the same sort of thing. His damage isn't quite as high as Scorpion's. Oh, I might drop this. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. 34%. That ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? For some meterless damage and corner carry. Come on. So both of these characters have 2-1s that are very, very good. Also, movement, man. These characters move very well. Like, Sub-Zero's walking is actually quite adept. And his dashing and movement in general is very strong. You know. Scorpion sort of has the same thing. Scorpion's actually more graceful. Because he just sort of slides backwards. As opposed to, like, you know. Look at that backdash. Look at that. Scorpion's backdash is very long range. Because he's meant to be hit and run, sort of a guerrilla fighter. Poke. Ooh, you try something, bitch? Don't you do that. Poke. Ooh, you tried it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Scorpion does. You know? So, both of these characters move extremely well. And by them moving so well, it allows them to maneuver on screen. So notice, these characters have good pokes. They have 7-frame punish strings. They have good standing 2s. They have fantastic movement. They have good down 3s. Right? You saw that Scorpion has pretty damn good meterless damage. Obviously, I have Serena equipped, so with Serena, everyone has good damage. But that's the point. You equip a cameo to offset some of the character's weaknesses, and now suddenly a character that would have been possibly C tier or B tier, now they're not, because they're paired with a cameo that somewhat mitigates their weaknesses. And I say somewhat because neither one of these characters is, you know, they're not top tier or nothing, I don't believe. I mean, Scorpion Striker's very strong, but you put them against a Johnny Cage or a Raiden and they might fold, right? But the point of the matter is, because this is a cameo game in which all characters have to be paired with a cameo, the cameos actually help mitigate a lot of the weaknesses that the characters have. But here's the other thing. These characters also still have more strengths. So what's another strength of both of these characters? Well, they both have mids. Sub-Zero has forward 1, and he has a whole mid string that's safe, forward 1, 2, and special cancelable. So you can cancel the cameo or special, you know? Now, for Scorpion, he has forward 3, 2. Forward 3 is 12 frames. Stubby. It's a really stubby mid, you know, look at that. Way less range than stand 2 or even stand 1. Well, let me see. Hold on. Oh, it advances though. It does advance. So, you know, it's alright. And as you saw, I was able to use this 3 times and get a combo. And then I continue my thing, you know what I'm saying? And it launches. So he has a launching mid string that's safe. Well, kinda. Now, the problem with these mids in comparison to other characters is that both of these mid strings are extremely flawed. If the mid strings had better frame data, that would put them more in line with everybody else in the game. See, but in past NRS games, bottom 2 characters didn't even have no mid strings. Hell, some top tier characters didn't have mid strings. Johnny Cage does not have a mid string that Sub-Zero has in this game. MK1 Johnny could not do this. He could not do mid into special. And he was a top tier character until he was nerfed in the, you know, last patches. They killed his plus frames, then he stopped being top, but whatever. But you had top tier characters that could not do a mid string into a special and combo people. You know what I'm saying? Hell, MK1 Shao Kahn, Shao Kahn players had to fight and campaign heavily to get forward 3-4 to be special cancelable. And they finally did it, and the string was still very, very unsafe to do. Like, it was death on block, and it had a big ass flawless block gap and stuff like that. Sub-Zero doesn't have that problem. Forward 1-2 is completely safe. It's -7 if I'm not mistaken on block. Let's see. Yeah, -7 on block. It's safe. He's safe. Except against Johnny Cage and Liu Kang, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. You know what I'm saying? We can use cameos to cover that. You know what I'm saying? Because he can do this. You know? And that makes him safe. There's a gap, but he can make himself safe with that. You know what I'm saying? He can do this too. Risky, but he can do it. Now, Scorpion's mid, it's a risk for him to do. Because Second hit is a high attack. You can completely duck that. Let me see here. If I can get the block. How you do? Oh, it's auto and duck. God damn it. See that? Dangerous. Scorpion's dead meat if he does that. But how does Scorpion mitigate this? I'll tell you how. This. You know what I'm saying? He can use a cameo to keep himself safe. If the opponent thinks you're gonna do this and they want to duck and they've demonstrated that they'll duck, it's like, alright, cool. Bam! Duck that. You know what I'm saying? You do this enough times, they'll start respecting it. And then you can always stagger with this as well, because this is -4 if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, -4 on block. It's not a real stagger, but if Johnny can stagger with a -5 forward 3, Scorpion can damn sure do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, stop ducking. Yeah, so both of these characters have mid strings that lead to combos. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that even mid or top tier characters had in previous games. Both of them just have it for free. You know? And it's not just them. Everyone in the cast is like this. Everyone has a mid string they can combo from, for the most part. Not General Shao. So even in this game, you still have characters that don't have a mid string that leads to a combo. You know what I'm saying? Natara doesn't have it. General Shao doesn't have it. Who else? Who else am I thinking of that doesn't have it? I'm sure there's another one, but I probably don't even play that character like that. But, you know, characters are comboing from highs still, for the most part. Not these two. They can combo from a mid, you know? A safe mid, or a safe-ish mid. In addition to that, these characters also have mix-up tools. Scorpion has a very long range low sweep that hits twice from back here. Now you don't want to throw this out willy-nilly. You only want to throw it out from back here, because if you're any closer and the opponent decides to jump or block, that's your ass. But Scorpion can use a cameo to cover that. I saw a Scorpion player using Goro to, let me see. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Never done that before. What the hell? I was trying to spear after that so bad. Bruh. I'm pretty sure you can do something. But yeah, you can see that Scorpion can make that safe with the right cameo. And look at how much screen that covers. That's a lot of damn screen, you know? And Scorpion's going to be wanting to play over here or out here anyway, waiting for you to whiff so he can do that. Damn, is that really 30? Oh, okay. Oh, it's 26 frames a second. Okay. Yeah, so Scorpion's already playing at range. And so when you decide, oh, I'm going to stand up and go, that's when you get tripped up. And this breaks armor too, because it hits twice. Now, Scorpion does not have an overhead starter. I think he could really use something like that. Maybe a forward 2 that just, you know, an overhead that just splats people. That would help him out a lot, because he's already making people crouch block all the time. And so if he had an overhead, just something to condition them to stand up a little bit, that would help out a lot, I think. But he does have overheads in his strings, or a string. So he has 1, 2, 2, and the ender's an overhead. But it's 24 frames, so you can do 1, 2, and then sweep. And the opponent has to kind of guess between that and that. It's not a real mix-up. It's not something you do all the time. It's not something that you center your game plan around, but it is something that you can do every now and again to trip up the opponent. And obviously you can stagger with 1, 2, stand 1, back up. You know what I'm saying? Just mix up your up-close options. Now, Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero also has a back 3. He has a back 3-4, a double low. And with certain cameos like Goro or Sonya, that's a combo launcher. He also has 3-4, which has the same ender, but standing 3 is a high attack. And then Sub-Zero can just combo from the low as well. You know, he's not hit confirming that. That's just a guess. But if Sub-Zero's standing out here and does this advancing 13 frame normal, the same 13 frame normal that he had in MK1, as a matter of fact, if he does that, he can cancel in this arena, and if it hits, it's a combo. If he blocks it, he's far enough away to where they're going to get, the opponent's either going to get nothing or they're going to get a long range down 3, which, that's alright. It's a fair trade. You know, but Sub-Zero also has this overhead, and we all know that this is Sub-Zero's bread and butter right here. You know what I'm saying? If you've been playing against Sub-Zero in the past 3, or the past 2, I should say, NRS titles, you know that Sub-Zero has some damn overhead. I don't know why NRS, I mean, technically he had an overhead in MK9 as well, but it was forward 4 and it was kind of slow, and you know, it was what it was. But ever since MKX, you know, NRS has decided to give Sub-Zero this launching ass, comboing ass overhead that aggravates the shit out of people. And in this game, that overhead is back too, you know what I'm saying? And so Sub-Zero has mix-ups, and he can even make this safe as well. That's safe. Completely safe. You know what I'm saying? Can you armor through it? Sure you can. But if you're doing that, if people are armoring through that, that means you're using it too much. You know what I'm saying? That's something you do in key moments. It's not something you center your gameplay around, you know? Again, top tier characters do not have all these mix-up options. In addition, Sub-Zero has overheads at the end of his strings. So he has 1, 2, 2. He has 2, 1, 2. Both of which end in an overhead. He also has a low slide. So if you want to be super risky, you can make opponents guess between this and this. Or you can be smart and equip low hat instead. But still, you can do that. You can make opponents guess between overhead and low enders in your strings. You know what I'm saying? And so, with all of that being said, these two characters have fundamental tools that mid to top tier characters in previous Mortal Kombats did not have. These characters are built relatively well and complete. It's just that they are low tier because the frame data on a lot of these moves, these strings, these normals and things the frame data is not up to snuff. And that's what makes these characters low tier in comparison to everybody else. Both of these characters need buffs, for sure. But don't let their bottom tier status deter you from using them and playing them online. You can get victories, lots of victories with both of these characters. Okay? There are top tier or tournament players using both of these characters and beating people left and right with them. And then there's killers online that will go on and they'll stomp you out in a combat league set with either of these characters, or even in casuals. They'll stomp you out with both of these characters. Why? Because they're still good, even though they're bottom tier. Okay? So don't get it twisted. Bottom tier in this game still makes for a damn good character. They're not as complete as their counterparts. They still need some help, but they need much less help than bottom tier characters in other NRS titles have needed. So don't run around here thinking that, this game's unbalanced. Oh, these characters are bottom tier. They're terrible. Oh my God, they're trash. No. These two characters are not trash. They're not as relatively good as everybody else, but they're still decent. They're still pretty damn good. They're still complete enough for you to play solid and get victories with. All right. And if that's true of these two, it's true of the entire game. You dig what I'm saying? But with that being said, I'm out. I'll catch y'all later. One.